Yo, what's going on, everyone? I got another video that I want to talk to you guys about for people who are thinking about moving to Japan. Warning word of advice because you might end up like this guy I'm about to show you. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well. We're going to take a look at this video. As always, I'm going to leave the link in the description below. But, you know, everyone, like I hear kind of people waxing poetic and talking about the fantasy about moving here and living here and how something in their soul just told them that they want to live in Japan. Again, if that's you, that's fine, right? But I believe that, a lot of it is based on the media that you consume and your image of what Japan is. And those people kind of have their set image of what they think Japan is like versus like some people who want to explore a new place and they think Japan is the type of place they want to explore, meaning they don't have a set image of what they're walking into and they're more open to the pros and the cons of what life here is like. And there are cons, and they're real cons that you're going to have to deal with. And I think um, if you fall into the category of fantasy island kind of person who wants to move here, you're going to end up for a rude awakening, and that's kind of what we're going to take a look at in this video here. It's a guy, he's a bit older. I'm just going to play it, let you guys see what he's talking about, and I'll give my reaction to it.
So, I'm here in Japan, Tokyo, right in the thick of it.
Okay, first off, the caption is hilarious. Like, I'm miserable in Japan. It's hilarious. Second of all, it doesn't look like he's in the thick of anything at all. I don't know where this guy's living, but maybe he's living on the outskirts of Tokyo somewhere. Inside Tokyo, but on the outskirts. I don't know exactly where, but it just seems like a residential street, maybe on the border, maybe, on some outside of the Yamanote line is kind of what I'm suggesting. So a really important thing before we get into this, if you're judging where you can live based on a map of Tokyo, before you come here, you're probably going to be misled, right? Because you don't really know where the happening areas are, if you will. So it might seem like, oh, this is close to everything, so yay, I'll just live here. And you might end up playing yourself, right? Like this guy, he's a little bit older, but just keep that in mind. Like, don't you can't really judge on the map. Again, hopefully ideally in the future I will especially sometime next year, I really want to start working on some more materials that I can provide to you all to kind of help with these type of choices and decisions. Because like I remember several times, just hearing people saying like, I'm just gonna stay near Asakusa. And it's just like, Asakusa is far away from everything else. On the map, it might look cool, it might sound cool, but you don't want to do that, especially if you're going to be here on a shorter stay. So, or just living here and you want to have any type of social life. Again, I'm just being real, but yeah. So hopefully, side topic, but hopefully be on the lookout for that sometime in the near future. When I have time to really start working on it, of course I'll let you guys know. Of course, I haven't forgotten about my book as well. That's also in the works as well. Like I got, again, the ball's rolling. You guys just let me get to it. It's all coming. It's all coming. Don't worry. It's brewing in the kitchen. But let's listen to this guy complain about his life.
So, ever since I was a teenager, I always had this fleeting fantasy that I would somehow move to Japan, find a job in Japan, and live in Japan. And I'm kind of regretting it. No, I'm not kind of. I'm completely regretting it. I'm in my 40s now. I should have done this when I was in my 20s. Of course, there was no possibility to do it in my 20s. I did try though, but circumstances prevented me from doing that. So
I mean, I'm not gonna clown this guy for saying that. It didn't work out. He said it was impossible. If there's a will, there's a way. Let me say in everything, and for all of you people, consider, a few people contact me like saying I want to try to, but there's a will, there's a way, right? There's a way to do it. It might not be the best way. It might take some time. It might be a little bit inconvenient. And even coming here again, I said before, you might want to come here, but can't make it happen. And that might be the best thing for you. You never know. So don't just beat yourself up because your fantasy of moving here and running away to Tokyo life doesn't materialize. Like, it's fine. Like, there's plenty of information here, and don't romanticize the content that you see online about life in Japan just because it's edited really well, and there's like cool hipster music playing in the background. I'm just saying, like, I was watching a video the other day, and I just had to turn it off, and my wife was like, why did you turn? I'm like, I just can't listen to this guy, like, romanticize going to the convenience store to eat an onigiri. It just doesn't resonate with me. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you're in 7-Eleven, dude. I got it. It's fine. Whatever. You got off the plane, cool. But I'm not bashing it. I understand the appeal for people who haven't been to Japan or came here for a little bit, but living here after several months, that wears off. And I have a feeling this is what this guy's going to kind of talk about to you guys. So if that's all it is for you, what's the draw here of unwrapping your first onigiri at 7-Eleven is why you want to uproot your life and move over here. You might want to expand the scope of what, your reasons for coming here. Again, I'm not bashing it. I'm not bashing it at all. I completely understand it. I would probably feel the same way if I had the amount of information about Japan that's available to people nowadays when I decided to move here. But I'm just telling you, in a good way and in a bad way, there's a lot more to life in Japan than that.
So I'll get to the point why I'm miserable here. Well, first of all, I am here legally. I got a job here. But it's such a nightmare to start up from zero. You gotta, first you gotta register your address to your ID card, to your resident card. And then you gotta open up a bank account. But you can't really open a bank account if you don't have a phone number. And you can't open a phone number, like get a Japanese phone number, unless you have a bank account. That's just one issue about it. And another issue is the healthcare system. I need to enroll in it, and it's like everything is so, well, I get it. I don't speak Japanese, so it's not catered for non-Japanese speaking people. And yeah, so it's like, oh, and don't get me started on the trash. You gotta sort your trash to like a very obsessive degree. Like you can't just throw away your plastics in the plastic bin. No. You gotta peel off the label. You gotta wash the inside of the bottle. Take off the cap. You got to separate everything, or else they will literally take that bag and put it in your front door and tell you, no, you gotta do it the right way. And then there's another issue. I mean milk cartons, any carton that you drink from, you gotta cut it open and unfold it and wash it off and pop off the top plastic. Like, it's maddening. Like they're asking you to work 8 hours a day, commute for 2 hours if you're lucky, and then on top of that, you got to make time to cook. You got to make time to dispose of everything very carefully. Oh, and of course you can't dump any oil on the weak ass plumbing here. I thought they had an advanced country here, but apparently not. So it's like you gotta harden it with some dust, with some powder. And then to get it off, you gotta scrape it off the pan. And that takes like 20-30 minutes. It's so time consuming.
First off, like, the administrative stuff that this guy is talking about, like, registering, getting a phone number, dude, there is so many more resources. You got translation apps, you got Chat GPT, you got AI. There was none of that when I came here, right? Yes, I had my company which helped me do a lot of this stuff, but the majority of this stuff was just done on muscle. You know what I'm saying? You just had to figure it out, and no one was there to help you, and you just had to make it work until you can get it to work. So complaining about like the language gap in a different country when we have technology to help out, he's just being a crybaby. And yeah, the trash being on his front door because he's the only foreign guy who moved in, and everyone knows that he's the guy, who doesn't understand how to separate the trash. Again, none of that was translated when I came here. You know, figure it out. Like, you just gotta figure it out. Like, do what everyone else does. Look online, research some stuff, and be an adult. This guy is in his 40s. He's my age, but I'm sorry, man. Like, you're not in your home country. I think that's the problem. He had this mindset that, you know, he's stuck in his home country's mindset. It's like, no, dude, you're somewhere else. Like, and I'm pretty sure he said he should have came here when he was younger, but I imagine it would have been much worse if he came here when he was younger. This is the type of person that just shouldn't be here. Like, you know, I mean, he's kind of figuring it out right now, which is good. Like, he, you know, he'll get out of Japan. I mean, I'm not saying like I want him to leave the country, but I'm just saying like if you're not happy here, then you should probably go somewhere else. I don't know what his life situation is. I don't know what else is going on, but again, this country will not save you from yourself, right? This country will not make you a happy person, right? Like I have been a happy person here. I'm happy now. I've been an unhappy person here. The reasons were my own doing, right? At the end of the day, there were some circumstances that were uncomfortable that I had to deal with, but it was my own doing, and resolving those issues was my own doing. So that's what I would say for this dude. Like, you know, work, everyday life, administrative stuff. That's called being an adult. That's called being a responsible adult, and that's what it comes. You're moving to a different country. You're immigrant. You're, you know, you're an illiterate immigrant. That's how I think I have to think of myself here. You know, I'm an immigrant that reads and writes on, you know, a high elementary school to junior high school level. You know, okay, like that's what you're walking into. And if you start thinking of yourself as an immigrant, not as, you know, a person like frolicking in fantasy land, you will have a much more measured approach to everyday life here, and a more realistic feel for the challenges that you have to deal with that will inevitably come up as you settle into everyday life here in Japan. But let me know with a like or a comment. Again, OG listeners, please comment. Let me know, because comments do help push this out to other people. All right, here's another video. I'll holler at you soon. Peace.